Expose Explained.
What's going on, guys and gals of YouTube? My name is OOTIKTAKOO, and welcome back to Expeditions Explained, the series where we take a look at certain expeditions, talk about their pros and cons, and give you some tips and tricks to get you through them, because I know they can be a little difficult. Today we're looking at Frontline, in my opinion, one of the best expeditions in the entire game. However, it also has probably the hardest boss fight in the entire game in expeditions. This one is interesting. A lot of AoE. Power assimilation works really well. If you guys don't know what that is, this mod here, power assimilation, boosts your anomaly power by 11,000. At times, there's never less than 2 to 6 elites on the map. So you're looking anywhere between 22 and 66,000 extra anomaly power. So if you're an anomaly based build, this is a mod you definitely might want to bring. There are a ton of little things that you can do on this map to help improve your clear times, and we're going to talk about them as we go. I'm only on World Tier 1, but I'm not racing or anything like that. I'm just trying to show you guys some stuff you can do. Like, for example, when this door opens, you can actually shoot during the countdown, and it pulls the enemies even faster to you. I didn't do it fast enough there, but you can kind of bait the enemies a little closer. In fact, you can do that on most doors. It's really good on Coliseum. It's really good on Frontline. A lot of them can be done. When you open that door, you will be rushed by 6 cutthroats, 4 breachers, and 2 riflemen. Take them out and move on to the big area down here. Again, 6 cutthroats, 4 breachers will rush you again, along with an ironclad down there. That is your first boss. The breachers flanked me, no big deal. Just make sure they don't do that to you. Once you do kill those 6 cutthroats and those 4 breachers, that is your moment to take out the ironclad, because a cremator will spawn to your left. The main 2 spawn points of the first waves of this are this right here and that up there. Just keep your eyes on both of those spawn points. We are going to have to fight a bajillion bosses, so just know when they spawn, where to look for them, which I just showed you, and get yourself into the best position you can. If you're using an AoE build, you know that positioning really matters. Next, cremator, ironclad, both spawn in the exact same spots. If you have an AoE skill, this would be a good time to use it. Pull everything together and do your best to take them out. Another thing to note on this map, which I'm sure most of you are having issues with, are the snipers. As you can see, I'm getting beamed right here. They really only hang out in 2 places on this map. Behind this tank, as you can see right here, and the other one is behind these sandbags all the way on the other side of the map. This is the second spawn wave in the mission, and it pulls you onto the left side of the map. Again, if you have an AoE skill, this is where you want to use it. Once you kill these enemies, a very important thing happens that you need to be ready for. So we're going to kill all the rest of these enemies. We have one more to do, again, marksman, and get into position. Run up that little hill, and right here you'll have 2 cremators and a breacher all spawn. You can basically spawn kill them, and then you get rushed by 1 cutthroat, 1 breacher, and another cutthroat. Once you kill all 3 of those, an ironclad will be walking up towards you right here. Kill him and the marksman behind him, and as you take these enemies out, on the left-hand side, there will be more enemies jumping off the wall. As you can see, this is always 2 snipers and a rifleman. Kill them quickly, because you have other bosses to fight as they come out. And if you leave those snipers up, they'll just shoot you in the back while you're trying to take down the cremator and the 2 ironclads that just spawned. So do your best to kill the snipers and then move on to the ironclads up here. If you need to take cover up here with your back to the wall so you're not getting beamed by these ironclads, do not worry about it. Take your time, get the mission down before you start worrying about clear times. That will be considered, I would say, the 3rd wave, and then this is the 4th wave that really isn't that big of a deal. All you have are a couple of cutthroats, another marksman back here, who will stay all the way back here, and on the other side of the map is the 2nd marksman. Make sure to take these guys out before you start the 5th wave of the mission. These marksmen, again, are probably the biggest reason you're dying or get one shot from across the map and don't really understand what's going on. Next, we have 2 ironclads and 2 cremators. You're going to start seeing a theme here that these bosses always spawn almost in pairs. A couple of cutthroats and stuff, kill them first. If you're running a gun build and you have Bloodlust or Sharp Eye or anything like that, kill them first. Once you take out the little enemies, and that'll just leave you with a couple of bosses. Then if you have your entire skill kit, or if you're playing AoE or AP, and just do your best to take them out as they come. But don't worry, if you're aching for more bosses, this mission definitely has you covered. After these 4 cremators, you're left with a couple of enemies. Just after those 2 ironclads and 2 cremators, you have another sniper who likes to hang out up here. This is on the 5th wave. Make sure to take him out before you really start messing around with the 5th wave. You can jump down here. Again, we have cremators and ironclads. Do your best to group them. I honestly really suggest taking out the snipers on the sides of the map before you really go in to try to kill anything else, especially if you have come to notice that you're dying really, really quick. I almost guarantee you it's those snipers. Most of the ammo or most of the damage coming from ironclads and cremators isn't that bursty, and you can usually weapon leech or life leech or skill leech off of most of the damage. They shouldn't be one-shotting you. After this 5th or 6th wave, whatever it may be, I think that's the last one. It is. What will happen is an artillery spawn will happen. You don't have to worry about killing any of these enemies that are about to crawl out of the walls. Just keep your distance because this can do damage to you. And honestly, it can ruin your run if you're not too careful. This is probably the hardest part in the mission besides the boss fight. What you're going to do here is you're going to cut right. You need to activate the cutscene where the truck comes in. As you can see, is happening right there. That spawns even more enemies. You have 2 breachers to deal with here. If you have golem skin, use it here as you push yourself up the map. But also simultaneously, if you have any AoE grouping skill, this is an awesome place to use it. You have a ton of bosses here, a ton, up to 6 at a time, depending on what's happening. You have cremators, ironclads, everything. Do your best to keep them grouped, especially if you're playing an AP build. I don't know if you guys saw it real quick, but once you take out a couple of the ironclads, another actual captain will spawn. This is where the run gets tricky. There's 2 regular captains that spawn in this area, and if they have bad mods or from the ashes or ice orbs or freeze bullets, it can absolutely ruin your run. They do spawn from down here, so if you somehow can kill all of those enemies or cut to the left-hand side, you'd be able to take them out quickly. But it doesn't even matter because just more and more bosses spawn. This is where that power assimilation mod comes in. If we weren't killing these quick enough, there would legitimately be 6 elites on this map, maybe even 7. But just do your best to survive this part of the mission. This is probably the gear check spot of the area, and trying to kill all of the elites is very, very difficult. You don't have to worry about too many spawns except those 2 captains, and once you take out the few ironclads and the cutthroats, you can kind of weave your way through this mission. There is a lot of cover that you can take. The vast majority of what you want to do in this part here is use your AoE, group them up right around this area, and try to take out as many as you can. If you have Shadow Comet, Damage Link, anything, Moaning Winds, doesn't matter. This is going to be your bread and butter spot right here. Take them out, then move on, because once you do, you're going to be flanked by the 2 captains that spawn at the door. Speaking about a door, let's go over and hit that switch. There is a ammo crate right here, which is probably the only one I ever do hit besides the boss fight one. I really don't like going out of the way to hit those ammo crates. Like on Chem Plant, the first one at the door is all the way left in that like cubby hole. Here you have a choice, left or right. I like going left because it lets you kill these 2 cutthroats and then move on to the ironclad that's right here. Once you kill this ironclad, use your AoE skill on these riflemen back here. I don't care if it's Earthquake, Flame Wave, Freeze Turrets, whatever. Put them on these riflemen here, so that way you can kill these 2 breachers and the cremator right there. Once you do that, this part of the mission is pretty much done. And that leads us to the hardest boss fight in Expeditions, in my opinion. The reason this is so difficult is because there are only 16 little enemies that spawn. 4 breachers, 8 riflemen, and 4 cutthroats. They are staggered throughout the entire thing. There's 2 captains that spawn that usually have very crappy mods such as frost orbs or ice bullets or sanctuary, something along those lines. And MOLOCH can literally one-shot you if you're not careful. He has pyroclast and a bunch of other crazy things that you can get one-shot by. If you're playing a Devastator and an Endless Mass build, I always like to do this. Always try to get as much damage on all 3 of these enemies, especially if you're playing an AP build, as fast as possible. I would not use an ability and only hit like one of these guys. I just wouldn't do it. I would do my absolute damnedest to line these guys up so I can kill them or use my abilities or shoot them or damage link them, something all at once. If you're dying on this mission, I guarantee that's a big reason for it. Jump kit on all of the enemies possible and not just 1 or 2 captains. After you kill 1 captain, 4 breachers, as you guys saw, will drop down from that wall. Use these guys as a healing mechanism. Don't worry, they're not really going to kill you, but use them to heal up or get your bloodlust stacked or something like that. Once you kill the 2nd captain, the 2nd wave will spawn. You will see right here. There's 4 riflemen that spawn in this back area and 4 riflemen that spawn in this area here. Stop fighting MOLOCH and kill these riflemen. They will just absolutely murder you while you're trying to kill MOLOCH. I know it's only 4 riflemen, but 4 riflemen or 8 riflemen shooting you in the back while you're getting dipping, dodging, ducking, and weaving MOLOCH's abilities can really, really do a number on you. I'm not kidding here. 90% of the time I die on the mission, it's because of these riflemen and not MOLOCH himself. Now, you would think this is the end of the mission, but there is not. Once we get MOLOCH down a little bit lower, this giant door will open. Once this door opens, 4 cutthroats and a Juggernaut captain will spawn, who again almost always has sanctuary. A side note, while we get MOLOCH a little bit low here, his crit spot is not his head. I know it looks like his head, but it's not his head. His crit spot is actually the baby person, whatever the hell it may be, on his backpack. So I know playing solo, it's kind of difficult to actually get it, and especially with a shotgun. Let's switch to our Amber Vault and see if we can just tap it once or twice so I can show you guys. There it is. You see a couple yellow numbers? It is actually, there it is. When he's doing Annihilation, that's when you really DPS him. Once you get him down to about a 1/3 health, 2/3 health, this door opens, and here are our 4 cutthroats and our Juggernaut captain. Just do these as the same, use these guys the same way we use those 4 breachers to heal up or to stack our mods and then take out the Juggernaut captain. If you have damage link, here's a side note. If you have damage link on one of your guns, if you're playing Pyro, Techno, Trickster, Devastator, doesn't matter. Always shoot the target you don't want to kill right away. So when those captains spawn and MOLOCH spawns and they're right here hanging out together, I always shoot a captain. I prefer the left captain. Specifically, he seems to have freezing stuff a lot more than the other captain, but that's just me. When you're shooting the other enemy, what happens with ultimate damage link is it bypasses all the armor. So you'll hit the captain himself for a little bit of damage, let's say hypothetically 100,000 damage, and then you would hit MOLOCH, who it chains to, for 200,000 damage because it bypasses all of his armor. Just a couple of things to worry about MOLOCH. I know I'm going on and on here, but this is legitimately one of the hardest boss fights in Expeditions. He has a couple of abilities that you really need to watch out for, but that's the one you really need to watch out for. Forget the Wandering Flame, forget anything. It is that Flame Dash that will legitimately one-shot you. That did half of my health right there, but if I got caught by that explosion, I will 100% die. So just be careful. If you are having an issue with the MOLOCH fight and you don't understand what's killing you, it's that Flame Dash. It hurts very, very, very badly. Eventually, just take him out, do your absolute best, and that is all of Frontline. There are a few tips and tricks, but the biggest thing to know about this mission is your positioning. if you're not in the proper position or you don't know what's coming, it's going to make the mission a lot harder to handle. I promise you, it really is, on this one specifically, all about positioning. Now, that is the guide to Frontline. Even though this series isn't that popular, I feel like they're very important to do. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Hopefully that helped you out. If it did, let me know down in the comments below. I'll see you guys on the next one. TikTak out.